You are a wonderful God. Oh, my creator. Only you are.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Doyle back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be breaking down how I made 5,000 this week. I could have made more if GU didn't do no BS today, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later in the video. Now, people are asking me, okay, how do you be keeping your losses small? How do you know when to increase your lot size? How do you know when you see a quality setup, when to like go all in on a setup? So I'm gonna be breaking that down because Tuesday's trade made me profitable this week. Like, Monday was terrible, Thursday was terrible, and Friday was decent if GU didn't do no BS. But if I didn't win on NAS Tuesday, this would have been a losing week for me. So we got to really talk about Tuesday's trade on NAS 100 because wifey is still, I still love NAS 100 even to this day. But I got to break that trade down because I literally knew it was going to take off. Like, everybody in the group knew that, okay, this is going to take off. We just got to just be prepared for it. So Monday was a losing trade. I lost a little over like $1,600. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to the point where how I knew that Tuesday's trade on NAS 100 was going to take off and explode. So let's go to NAS. We're gonna talk about Friday's trade, which is today, a little bit later. And this NAS 100 actually was a loser on Thursday. So this is a losing trade on Thursday. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about this trade right here. So this trade, when I entered, it went up for a 1 to 2 RR, then it came back to the entry. Okay, now you could have got in it many ways. You could have got in right here or right here, doesn't matter. But either way it go, after it gave me a 1 to 2 RR, then the second trigger gave how much? A 1 to 3. Then if you wanted to do it again, it gave you a little over. Let me line this up. Let me make sure it's right. It went all the way up for a 1 to 9 RR. Now, how did we know that this move was going to be explosive? Okay, so let's just take this stuff off. Okay, because this trade right here saved me from being for this to be a losing week. Like, it literally saved me. So let's take this off because we got to really break down NAS 100 on this trade, because this was like, if you didn't catch this, like, this was tough. So let's take this off and let's do a replay mode. And let's just go through it. So let's go to the higher time frame. So again, I don't really care about the daily like that. I look at the 4 hour because I'm scalping, so I don't really care too much about the daily. So I go to the 4 hour, and what do I see? It's clear as day. I see a demand sitting right at the bottom. I'm like, okay, cool, we got a demand. Let's go to the 1 hour. What do I see on the 1 hour? I'm like, okay, we still have a demand inside of the 4 hours. So okay, they go a demand right there. Let's go to the 15 minute. 15 minute is right here. Okay. Now, let's go to the 5 minute. Now, we're at a 4 hour demand. I want to make sure this is right. We had a 4 hour demand. So I'm like, okay, if we're at a 4 hour demand and I'm trying to take an entry off the 5 minute, I don't want to get in at the wrong spot because it can fluctuate before it can take off. And that's literally what it did. But it gave you 3 entries to get in, 3 of them. So either way it go, the first one went for a 1 to 2 RR. The second one went for, I believe, a 1 to 3 RR, and then the third entry went for a 1 to 9 RR. So it was just like, this was the day to load up the lots. So the real reason why I was super confident in loading up my lots, because I think I played 9 lots on NAS. That's kind of like aggressive. I went heavy on the lots because I knew I was at a higher time frame demand. Okay, so if I see that it's coming down at a 4 hour demand, and I'm looking at the 5 minute and I'm paying attention to the gaps, we could take this stuff off, honestly. I mean, as a matter of fact, we can keep it on. So if I know that I'm at a 4 hour demand and I'm trying to take an entry off the 5 minute, I know I have to wait until it pulls back like very deep. I don't want to be buying up here, because this is kind of, if it takes off up in this area, that means the move already took off. Like, it already took off. But when it started coming back down, I'm looking for the gaps. I'm like, okay, what is the deepest gap that haven't been filled yet? And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, we got a demand that's right here that's untapped on a 5 minute, and we're still inside the 4 hours. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, let me just wait and see if it comes back to it. And I'm still being patient though, because this is what time is this? 9:20. So the New York Stock Exchange about to open, and it do that mess. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't trade this. So let's let it come down. Now it's coming down. It's coming down. Boom, it comes down. Now at this very moment, I'm extremely confident right now. Like, that's why I went so heavy. And I'm like, man, this is a trade that I would want to load up on. So this week, I gotta give shout out to Wifey, like Nas 100. Like, this is the reason why I was profitable. And after it tapped, the rest was history. That was a 1 and 2 RR, came back 1 and 3 RR, came back 1 and 9 RR. So that was just an amazing trade. This trade right here was like, it was just golden. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was just something that it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so this was Tuesday's trade. Now this was a $7,000 win right here. It could have been more. I only went for a 1 or 2 RR right here. Like, once it got up in this area, I'm like, yeah, let me just close all my positions right there, and then that was it. So that covered Monday's loss and Thursday's loss. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to picking quality trades, you got to know your strategy to a T and understand when you see a super high probability trade happening, okay? Because I don't know if I'm going to go that heavy off of just a 5 minute setup. You get what I'm saying? This was a 4 hour setup. That's why it took off like it did. Okay, so let me go to the today's trade, okay? Because GU did some BS earlier this week. And I was ended up being a loser. This was a $1,600 loser right here, and that was just it. Like, I was like, whatever. And then Nas gave me a good setup. So today was very weird, man. Certain areas it never tapped into the supply. This trade right here, this trade irritated my soul because it gave me a trigger to sell. My 101 RR was literally right here at this line. It came down, came back up, and my stop loss was so tight. I had it right above that wick. It wicked me out. Then I'm like, okay, I need to get back in for a re-entry. But my re-entry, I wanted to get in at exactly where I got in at my first entry. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna line this up with my first entry, and then it started dropping. But this trade started dropping really hard because it wanted to grab liquidity. Like, liquidity was literally sitting up under here, and you see how it reached all the way down here. And then the same thing for right here. All those wicks was liquidity. So when I see that it's breaking structure, but at the bottom is leaving liquidity, I know that eventually they're gonna want to dip below that area. So that's why I was confident to take a sell. Some people in the group told me, oh, it looked like a buy, it's demand. No, it was never demand. It was never demand. Okay, so because it was a breaker structure right there, it came back, tapped into the supply, and then dropped. So this is a perfect example of why runners are key. Like, people always think, oh, you always go for 101 RR. I really don't. Just because I'm showing a screenshot and I'm showing like, okay, TP hit, doesn't mean I'm just closing all of my positions. That's not true. You got to get higher RRs if you want your winners to be bigger than your losses. Or you have to know when you see quality setups and just risk a little bit more. A lot of people don't preach this, but I'm preaching it. When you see a quality setup, me personally, I'm not telling you to do this. Me personally, I'm going to risk more on a more quality setup, like the NAS 100 setup. Like, people are like, bro, why you went so heavy on that trade, bro? It was just, everything was aligned. 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, bro. I'm not about to lose. Now, if I did lose, I would just be sick. But I just was really, really confident in that trade, and that's why I went heavy on it. But this trade went for a 1 to 5 RR today, but I closed at a 1 to 1 RR, but I risked a little bit more because I got stopped out and I had to make that money back and some. So I hope this video helps somebody, man. When it comes to risk management, bro, I'm done talking about risk management, bro. Go get magic keys. If you don't have it, bro, that's tough, man. That's tough. And again, I'm not getting paid for this. You don't see no link below or nothing like, no. Go get magic keys. Like, bro, I'm trying to save somebody out here. I don't even be preaching risk management no more because it calculates it for me. So I don't I'm not the one for risk management. That Magic Keys is the one. So yeah, so this week was very, very weird. If Nas didn't help me out, this would have been losing week, but it came through. So that's all I got for this week, man. Yeah, this week was just super weird, bro. I don't know. Let me know if y'all had a good week or it was just a weird week. But I don't know what it is, but I feel like the war is still affecting the market. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not even trying to make excuses, but it was just, today was just so weird, bro. Like, am I tripping? Like, the market is really like acting real funny lately. Like, I don't know, but that's all I got. Peace and love. I'm out.